Hi, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back. So, there's some news for y'all, all right? I'm currently in Poplarville, Mississippi. I'm supposed to be home this weekend, and there were some issues over the weekend. I'm on this regional route now. I'm guaranteed a minimum of 34 hours at the house, and Melton didn't uphold that agreement, so I refused to load. And we have a forced dispatch policy, so I didn't comply with policy. Melton didn't uphold their end of the agreement for getting me home, so I'm either getting fired or I'm quitting, or we say, hey, we both did a bad and we move on. So one of those three options is going to happen. I'll know that tomorrow, and I'll explain the incident later on in the video. But today's video, I'm kind of explaining over my experiences on the regional route. I've been on it now for about a month, and I got all my miles and money written down, and we're going to talk about that. All right. So the way regional works here at Melton, and I'm on what's called a South Regional hybrid fleet. And so every Friday I get a message saying, hey, do you want to go home next weekend, or do you want to stay out, stay OTR? So you fill in the blanks, put your truck number, your name, and you send it off to Melton. All right. I like to go home every weekend. All right, that's why I wanted to get on regional. And so let me backtrack. My very first week back from my vacation, I stayed out because, well, I just took 3 weeks off. Right. So, anywho, so that's how it works, right? And I'm running way differently than I did when I was OTR. Right, I'm running my clock out most of the days. I'm picking up one day and dropping off the next. All right, it's a very kind of quick tempo, which I really like that. I don't have a trainee with me right now. He actually went home Friday, and so it's slow with the trainee. That tempo, it takes me a little bit less. It's almost like double the time to do securement and unsecurement. But that's part of training. Like, it's going to take me slower to, hey, I have to explain this, or hey, I have to go fix this, or hey, like, I need you to do this by yourself so you can learn it. All right, so obviously that's going to take more time. But I really do like the tempo of, hey, I'm unloading in the morning, and I'm going to pick up, and I'm unloading the next morning, and I'm going to go pick up, and I'm unloading the next morning, right? And it's just boom. It's a good cycle. All right. I really do like the tempo. However, your miles get cut, right? I mean, you got to think you're not getting these long hauls anymore. You're not getting, they try to get you loaded with a load through the house on the weekend. So like, I'll pick up Friday, go to the house, and I'll go drop it off Monday, right? Sometimes there was one weekend I did not get a load. I had a load, but the load got pushed to the next week, right? So, kind of one of those like crap happens type of scenarios. But that's the gist of like how it's all laid out. All right, so week one. All right, and so this is the week I stayed out. All right, I stayed out Monday, so I met Tuesday to Monday. All right, now I came back on a Tuesday. All right, that was my first day. Excuse me, goodness. So I came back off of home time on a Tuesday. I spent all day in the shop. So I actually didn't start running until Wednesday. So just keep that in mind. But from Wednesday to Monday, I got 1,573 miles. All right. I grossed $930 and my per diem was $157. All right. That gross number is what I made before they put the training pay on. So that's why I'm not doing my pictures of my pay stubs, because obviously that has all my training stuff. So anything that's related to training, I just took off. And so what I'm telling you is gross is as if I was running without being a trainer. All right. So again, week one, 1,573 miles, $930 gross, $157 per diem. All right. Week two. All right. So week two, this would be from, it's in the pay period, right? Melton's pay period is Tuesday to Monday. But since we dropped off Monday, we picked up a load, and was able to drop that off on Tuesday, or Wednesday. I can't remember exactly, but hopefully y'all are grasping that. Anyway, so we picked up Monday, And actually, no, we dropped that Wednesday. Yeah, we dropped that Wednesday in Eagle Pass. That's right. And then I went down to Laredo, and then Laredo to wherever. So, anywho, that second week I had 2,166 miles between Monday and Friday. I was scooting. All right, we were running. All right, I had Brandon at the time, and we were running. All right, we weren't team running, but we were driving our full clock, getting our 10-hour break and going. All right, there was no extra downtime, no nothing like that. So for that week, 2,166 miles for $1,236 gross and $216 per diem. All right, so that Friday, all right, that was the day where I went to go pick up my weekend load, and it got pushed to the next week. All right, so now we're on week 3. All right, week 3, I got 1,068 miles between Monday and Friday. All right, $537 gross and $106 per diem. All right, so it's not that great, right? And then last week, right, week 4, 653 miles, all right, for $543. And you're like, how the heck did you make that much money if you only got 650 miles? So I had detention pay, I had what we call short pay, and some tarps, right? So those extra pays, kind of came into factor. I also, my weekend load for that run, I left Monday morning and it was to a construction site. Well, it got rained out, so I couldn't drop until Tuesday. And so there would have been another 400-mile run on there, so I would have been closer to 1,000 miles that week. But I didn't drop until Tuesday, so that run it's going to be on this week's paycheck instead of last week. So I would have been about 1,000 miles last week, but things happen. So all together, all right, for the last 4 weeks, I have grossed $3,246, and I made $532 in per diem. So that's the information. I mean, that's straight from my pay stub. Again, I didn't take screenshots of my pay stub. I took off anything relating to training. So I feel like for those that have been around, y'all know I'm not going to BS anybody about pay. So if you have questions, let me know. It's been really cool, man, being able to get home every weekend. But I can make the same amount of money I'm making with a job and be home every day, right? With 2 days off, right? So I'm kind of at a crossroads now. I'm not super thrilled. I mean, I knew I was going to take a pay cut going to regional, right? I knew it. I just didn't think it'd be this drastic. But it is what it is. It's only been a month, so we'll see how it goes. Maybe, which brings me to, let's talk about what happened this weekend. All right. So again, Melton guarantees you a 34-hour reset at the house, right? If you elect to go home, which I do. So today's Sunday, Thursday, I was in Conroe, Texas, which was 30 miles from my house. And I'm like, okay, surely they're just going to give me a run up to, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma. There's something short, and then get me back home, with picking up Friday, dropping Monday, where I get to swing through the house, right? That's kind of how it's been. So they give me a run to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And I'm like, that's kind of far. But, hey, I don't like being micromanaged, so I'm not going to sit there, hey, like, what's the plan on getting me back home? I'm not going to try to micromanage them if I don't like it myself, right? So I pick up, go to Hattiesburg. We drop off Friday morning. I say we because I had my trainee with me. He went home Friday after we dropped off, and I don't get a pre-plan. And I'm like, that's weird, because I'm like, if they're going to send me that far away from the house, surely they're going to have something on the books for me to get home, right? So, but you know what? Hey, I'm going to let them do their job. So about an hour after I get empty, I get a message stating, hey, we need help with the recovery in Alabama. And I'm like, let me remind you, Jordan, my DM, is not, she's off Thursday and Friday, right? So I don't know if that had anything to do with this, but I'm just throwing it out there. So I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to be home today. So, Alabama's the opposite way of the house. And they're like, oh, okay, well, I'll let the planner know and they can work on getting you a load home. And I'm like, they're just now working on trying to get me a load home? Like, that's not good. Anyway, all day I'm sitting, all day. And finally I'm like, hey, it's like 2:30, right? I'm like, hey, I'm going to a truck stop about 40 miles down the road. Yeah, I need a shower and whatnot. So they're like, all right, 10-4. So I get to this Love's here in Poplarville, Mississippi. About 4 o'clock, they're like, hey, we don't have anything. Go ahead and shut it down for the night. We'll try to get you something tomorrow. I'm like, all right, 10-4. And again, kind of bummed, but Melton only guarantees me a 34. By this time, I could pick up Saturday morning, get to the house, get my 34. And, that's just how it is. Well, Saturday, about 12:40, they say, hey, we need your help with a repower. I'm like, okay, where's it going? And they told me that repower is going to Kingston, New York. I live down by Houston. That's not going to the house. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this makes no sense. And so Melton has a forced dispatch policy, which means we as drivers cannot refuse a load, right? But that's exactly what I did. I said, and verbatim, I said, absolutely not. I am supposed to be home. All right. So I did not comply with company policy. All right. So whoever I was talking to in extended coverage and myself, we were going back and forth. And I said, absolutely not. I'm supposed to be home. I was like, look, I understand Melton has a forced dispatch policy in which I am not complying with. So I'll accept consequences up to termination, because I'm not complying with our company policy, right? Even though they did not uphold their agreement to get me home, I'm also not complying with the policy, right? So I understand that's my action and I'll accept the consequences for that, right? I also said, hey, I'm 275 miles from the Birmingham terminal. I was like, I don't want to quit without giving a 2-week notice, but I will. I was like, if you want me to deadhead the Birmingham and turn my truck in, so be it. I'll do that too. Right. So she asked me, she's like, so you're refusing the repower and you're quitting? And I said, I am refusing the repower. I am not quitting. And so all day I'm waiting on a response. Right. And they're like, hey, we don't have a load for you. Go into the house. Go ahead and stand by. And as for refusing the load, you'll need to talk to your DM and the senior DM or my, Jordan's boss on Monday. So that's where we're at. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm 100% okay. If they're just like, hey, you failed to comply with company policy, that's unacceptable, we're going to terminate. Okay. If I'd much rather just quit than get fired. I just think it looks better. But again, if I get fired, that's okay. I mean, that's what happens when you don't comply with company policy, right? Or they might just be like, hey, we didn't uphold our agreement. You didn't uphold your, compliance to the policy. We both did a bad. Let's wash our hands and just keep moving, right? So it's going to go one of those 3 ways. But I'm okay either way. I'm already kind of looking at other jobs anyway, with just how the pay has been going on this regional route. I mean, I can go be a yard jockey somewhere and just move trailers around and make the same amount of money I'm making now and be home every day, right? So I don't know what's going to happen. At the end of the day, Melton's been really awesome. I really do enjoy being here. So we'll see what happens. It may just be, hey, hopefully up until this point, I feel like it's been a beneficial mutual relationship. We might just shake hands, thank each other for our time, and go our separate ways. So this may be my last video as a Melton driver. Who knows? I'll know tomorrow for sure what's going on, and then I'll update y'all accordingly. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the regional information. I'll keep you posted about if I'm going to be driving for Melton or not. Regardless, I'll keep y'all updated. I've been kind of debating on moving back to like going back to the operation side of life. I've also been considering going back to start streaming again, to stream full time. But we'll see what happens. I really do enjoy driving, but the money I'm making is just, to me, it's just not worth it for what I'm doing, right? So that's just kind of how I'm feeling right now, boys and girls. So we'll see what happens. If you have any questions, comments, anything, drop it below. If you're interested in coming to Melton, my referral link will be below. Just click on that. And otherwise, we'll catch you in the next video.